Okay, all right. So somebody on the internet, they asked, how do you think the future of transportation will look? What do you think is in the future for transportation? Do you think do you think we're gonna have flying cars?
I think
No.
driverless cars pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think flying cars are. They've been saying that for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
I can't see that happening. I just with so many just the human error, so many things that happen with that. I think you just need to remove the human error.
I have a
aspect.
lot of thoughts about future transportation.
Yeah.
I think people will own cars less because as driverless stuff comes in, you can just say to your phone, say where you're gonna go, and a single little one will pull up and take you there.
Mm-hmm.
Because what would the point of ownership be at that point if you could go wherever you wanted to go and sleep or look at your phone or watch Netflix while you go there?
Yeah.
And I think that would also domino down to a lot of some of the hospitality industry, like hotels.
Yeah.
Because if you could sleep, you'd probably just drive all night and sleep in a more comfortable car.
Yeah.
And save the cost of a hotel room for a lot of people.
Yeah. Really, what's the point in stopping
Mm-hmm.
if you don't? If you're already not. Yeah, maybe you want to stretch out your legs and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't see why you'd want to stay in a hotel overnight if you had driverless cars. But I don't know. Back to I don't really see flying cars ever being a thing because I just can't imagine because there's accidents now. Can't imagine what used to be a harmless accident would definitely be a devastating accident.
Yeah, because things that fly like planes, they have a lot of routine inspections
Yeah.
for safety, and cars go years without routine inspection.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
do.
I think it would be more likely for them to just remove the need for transportation than to have flying cars. Just completely try to remove it to make it to where everything, unless you want to go on vacation or something, everything you need in a close proximity, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going backwards then?
Kind of, but
So we're going back to walking? Because that's essentially what it used to be
yeah,
150 years ago. In
yeah.
towns, everything was on a
I
main
don't think
street. You didn't
moving
need.
transportation.
I just think that's
whatsoever.
I'm just saying that's more likely than
I
flying
disagree with
than
that.
flying cars.
What do you think about isn't there the Musk has that boring company for underground tunnels,
Mhm.
between major hubs where it's 100 miles an hour without
Yeah,
interruption.
Yeah.
He did that because he shut down the idea of flying cars.
yeah. It would be high speed.
Tunnels make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, high speed monorails. I feel like that would be
Everything.
I think that's more realistic, in my opinion. I just don't see flying. I just don't see. How would you police that? How would you stop criminals flying through it? I don't know. It'd be. I don't know.
Well, I think it'll come eventually,
Yeah.
but I think it's far away.
Yeah, which the driverless vehicles and stuff. I'm curious to see how that would work with emergency transportation. If that will ever be a thing, with fire trucks or ambulances and stuff like that. I wonder if that would affect that at all.
I think somewhat it would.
Yeah, of course you got to have the EMTs that in it, they got to be in it and stuff. But how would they tell a robot car that's not being operated by a human to move over to the right, or will it just know that an ambulance is behind it? So it just
if they are all driverless, maybe they know
They're
because
programmed.
they're
Yeah,
connected to
because I
that.
also think that too. When you stop at a stoplight,
mm-hmm.
if all the cars were driverless / connected, you'd probably stop a lot less. You would just zip, zip, zip. Of course, as soon as one's off, people die. But
Yeah.
it happens in a lot of industries when people make mistakes, people die.
Right.
But as that gets ironed out over time, it would cut your commute time. You wouldn't have to stop all the time because
mm-hmm.
if you could time it kind of right, you could.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Like Minority Report.
Yeah,
It
I
has
forget
a
what
lot
it's
of stuff
called,
like that.
But it reminds me of
Yeah.
driverless cars.
The driverless cars and it didn't stop and it malfunctioned and he tried to
Yeah,
manually
because he had the
override it.
chip put on them. And,
Yeah, and
yeah.
what was that?
I forget what it's called. But it
Upload or
is.
something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be dependent on a lot on just the sensors that are put into the sensoring.
That's the
And they don't
drivers.
work when it's heavy rain.
Yeah, but and then that brings me to the next point is I feel like all the makers of the EVs they would all have to be on board or like, our sensors have to be compatible with your sensors in order for this to work.
Well, I
Just
think
cameras.
part of it's sensors. I think part of it is because you have to have. There's a lot of pieces, but like the infrastructure, be able to transmit information fast enough.
Yeah.
But if all the cars, not just with sensors, yes, but also some location type things, speed and varying, of course, and the privacy.
Yeah.
But I think that would also be a big factor in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that also. Would you even need car insurance? I mean, I guess you would need car insurance, but I guess.
Well, I think it'll
It'd
drive
be-
down ownership of cars.
Yeah. That's true. I don't know. I think that's where we're probably heading, is just towards driverless cars and just maybe a high-speed monorail that's underground. But I don't know. That's my prediction of.
I'm not even sure it'll be underground.
You don't think so? You think
Why not just use the rails that are there?
You think or just,
There's a
Yeah.
whole system of rails.
yeah.
Utilize what we have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think in this country, like it never really, it's not utilized like some other
Mm-mm.
industrialized countries.
Mhm.
Where, like the norm here is like take the train somewhere,
Right.
and they're
Or
like,
it
you
is, like-
wouldn't take the train.
My brother lives in England. Is taking the train to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like a 45-minute
No, it's
train
not.
ride.
It's 4 hours. But-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Right.
When I hate that argument people bring up, like, oh, look at Europe's and Japan's rail systems compared to the U.S., and then you look at like the distance between their major cities and stuff, and it's like, yeah, no wonder they can do it.
Right.
They're not.
Us
They're
between
not
major
18
cities.
hours in between
Right.
L.A.
Coast to
and
coast.
what's
New
the?
York.
I think it's Japan where they have like the super high speed rail thing, right?
Mhm.
Like 200, 300 miles an hour, or something like that. And I guess if you can do that in a straight shot, it's really efficient.
Mhm.
But like in our country, there'd be a lot of stops along the way.
Yeah.
300 miles
It's
an
just
hour,
too
like
big of a country.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be so many stuff. That would be annoying as a passenger.
And I'm not sure in that situation you could use the existing rail infrastructure. I don't think they're. I don't know.
Probably not.
I'm
We
not,
also
I'm not
like-
an expert on locomotive technology, but I don't think they're capable
Yeah,
of
We also like to
handling
tear
300
down.
miles an hour.
because my thing is like with the monorails, like they would, because when you think of trains, you just think of long cars that can fit like however so many people. I'm thinking of just like kind of like a roller coaster style where there's just 2 seats, but there's just like hundreds of those going down the same track, and they stop
It is pretty much,
separately. So
It's pretty much the same thing, right? Just
Yeah.
with a cover.
right, yeah, I don't know, but that's how I think it might go. But kind of reminds me of Jurassic World a little bit when they
Oh,
go up. But then, when in those though, they do have the option to go manual. And-
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know. I think that'd be more likely to be the future. My prediction. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think it's too much, too expensive. I don't think the train stuff. I don't know if it'll happen in my lifetime or anything,
I
but
don't think
Yeah.
we have the materials yet for driverless cars.
yeah, I don't
How
think.
can you even get the chip that ran
This
our
is-
normal cars?
I was like, we just found a battery
Yeah.
strong enough for them, and we're already running low. And
Yeah,
we want it to supply a whole country in the world. Like,
yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting to revisit this conversation in like 2050, see where we're at. Because
Yeah.
it could be totally different by then. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to get flying cars anywhere.
oh no.
I think we'll be long gone by the time that happens.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have anything? All right. Well, there we have it.
Nobody said hoverboards
Yeah.
or segways.